Hey folks, Iron Sloth here. Alright, let's jump right in. If you guys are like me and never played a Dark Souls game before, and just want to know an honest review of the game, well, you've come to the right place. First off, prepare to die. A lot. I personally died just so many times in this game that I deleted the game, and then immediately went back 24 hours later, reinstalled the game, waited till my next day off. I was able to sit down and actually dump some hours into this game, and I gotta say, like, man, did this game feel clunky. And then after a few more hours, gotten the hang of the gameplay, I realized it was like playing any Assassin's Creed game, where at first everything feels kind of clunky and like the controls are kind of off, and but then as you get used to it, it's like there's more of a natural flow to everything that's going on. On top of that, I would say that this game can feel toxic, like absolutely toxic towards the melee class. I notice a lot of guides online, a lot of people are using magic, they're using spells, they're using all kinds of things. Me personally, I'm a glutton for punishment. I go in with the dual wielding swords and hope for the best. But I gotta say, it's also super addicting. Like, there is no greater feeling than when you beat a boss that's killed you 18 times. I haven't spent too much time with other classes in the game. Like, I haven't, re-rolled yet, and I haven't respec yet. And there are ways to respec after you get to a certain point in the game. But for me, like, I haven't experimented with that yet. I've still been messing around with the dual wielding swords and leveling those up as much as I can, and it seems to be working for me. I'm more of a melee type of player anyway. I don't really care to, be casting spells from a range and dodging. I want to be right up in their face, and it's probably why I'm dying so much. Expect to die is all I'm saying. Expect to die. You know it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen a lot. Just let it be. The other key takeaway for this game is to, read the signs on the ground. The signs are there for a reason. They tell you, a lot of people, they're writing them for reasons. They're there for a reason. Read them. They help you get through the game. Don't be like me. Don't ignore them for the first, like, 7 hours of the game. It's going to make it that much harder. Let's talk about the graphics a little bit. Look at the way the water displaces as you roll through it. Your cloak gets wet. Like, this amount of small detail in this game, they really went all out on this particular game. And I think a lot of the next generation games, those are the focus points that you really got to look for. By the way, I died 9 times in that particular fight. 9 times before I went in there and beat that guy on a goddamn Hail Mary. Because if you look in the top corner, my life is inexistent. Like, I came out of that with 1 life. Like, and that's basically like your hit or miss fights right there. Because there are some other fights where I go into it later in this video, and you'll notice that, like, I got 4 potions left, I'm full life, and somehow, I didn't die at all. But I'm going to tell you, in every single one of these fights, in these videos that you see, I have died probably 5 to 6 times before I beat the guy. As I leveled up more, I felt that the flow of the game gets a lot easier. It feels like your character wants to move faster, is able to roll better. Like, you don't have that clunky feeling that you had when you first start off the game, and maybe that was the whole system behind it. Again, I never played a Dark Souls game before, so I couldn't tell you if this is exactly how Dark Souls is supposed to feel like. My one takeaway, my one advice that I can give every new player is stack your vigor. As you're leveling up, dump those points into it. Get at least to 25 or 30 before you worry about your arcane or your strength or your dex or whatever class that you're going with. Just make sure that you have a good chunk of HP, because being able to take a couple more hits in a boss fight goes a long way. It gives you room for error. So yeah, that's my one takeaway is, dump some points into your vigor, otherwise known as your HP. You'll find that the game is that much more relaxing, that much more enjoyable, not worrying about being 2-shot every time you get into a boss encounter. I felt like the storytelling in this game hasn't really delivered. I'm sure there are people who disagree, but for me, it hasn't really delivered on the story aspect of the game. It's been kind of hard to follow, and maybe that's, maybe it's because of the way I've been going about playing the game, but it feels like as soon as you open the doors of this game, they drop you in this giant playground and they're like, go have fun. And if you look at it like that, the game is great. But if you're here for a really in-depth story and you want to follow it in perfect order, good luck, because they do not make that easy at all. Overall, I'm going to say this game has been a roller coaster of emotions. I've wanted to break my controller, to me jumping out of my chair in the middle of the night, waking up my family because I just beat the motherfucker who killed me 19 times. Like, I recommend giving this game a chance. You're looking for a game to play, it's out on all platforms. Go for it. Give it a try. If you liked the video, click that like button, click subscribe, and I'm going to leave you guys with a badass cinematic and me kicking this motherfucker's ass. Let's go.
Before we begin, allow me to paint you the full picture. General Radahn is cursed ever to wander. Eaten from the inside by Melania's scarlet rot, his wits are long gone. Now he gathers the corpses of former friends and foes alike, gorging on them like a dog. Howling at the sky,